What's up, everybody? We're back on the practice grind. This is recorded on a Thursday, and with my schedule, Thursdays are a little bit of a later start, just the way things are going. And into Friday, I work early, so I get off late, work early. You know, just the way my schedule is. So we're gonna do 2 STSs today, and just gonna set this up. I still don't have a script yet, but I'm going to try my best real quick to do a little intro. So this is the intro that I would do with the scene, or the beginning of the run where we would load up the... hold on one second, my preview is all jacked up. Hold on one sec. There we go, okay. Good. So basically, our game has several things going on. It's the spiritual successor to Castlevania Symphony of Night. And it also has Game Boy Advance / Nintendo DS Castlevania elements mixed in. We'll talk about those more as we play the run. But real quick, we just wanted to go over all of the flags for the randomizer that you're seeing here. On the goal, we have Defeat All Evil. What this is you have to defeat a boss who opens the final area, and then you have to defeat the final boss, very similar to Soden, where you have to do the special conditions to make sure you don't actually defeat or kill Richter. And then you get opened into the last area of the game, and then you then go ahead and you beat the game from there. Key items. This is a toggle that we won't go into too much detail. Just know that for it to work correctly the way we want it to be consistent and everything, we have to set it on the anywhere option. Save warp rooms. You can leave these unchanged or you can shuffle them. Pretty self-explanatory. Items. This is where the category gets its name. Retain type means that it's only going to shuffle items along with the other categories of items and in the same location. So if you have a chest that has a weapon in it, it only shuffles weapon chests around each other. If you have an enemy that drops a blue shard, it only shuffles the different blue shards to be dropped from the same enemy that would drop a blue shard, and so on down the line. Enemy drops. This is a way to mix only items and shards, but we want both, so it's on this chaos setting. And then for the other 3, these can be unchanged or shuffled, and we have all of them unshuffled. That's crafting, the items that are in the shops, and quests. Now the retain type item mode will make sure that the crafting materials also only are shuffled with each other. So that means that if you could craft something in the shop that's an accessory, another accessory or maybe the same thing will be shuffled into its place, but the ingredients will remain unchanged and so on. In Max Cast, this is not the case. The ingredients will also change along with all of the stuff that is in the shop. All right. And with that being said, let's get on with it. And timer's going to start when I make my first movement here. You can see the game has a built-in randomizer mode, which makes it pretty unique. There's not many games out there that have this. Hopefully more will have it as they are released. We do have a timer conveniently in the bottom corner as well. We have gauges up in the top left for our health and our mana, red and purple. And we have a little mini map in the top right, which is kind of just going to show you a little bit about what's going on with where we are. Very similar to the way you'd see like Super Metroid. So this is a Metroidvania platformer. There are a lot of different movement options. I'll explain them as I play. But we can go ahead and get ready to count down. And that's going to be in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. This first chest we open is a key item chest. And in the way we have the flag set up, only key items are shuffled with each other in their key item locations. So key items can be a couple different things. They can be the sword that we need to make sure that we do the mid-boss of the game correctly. And they can be keys that open optional bosses. They can be an item or 2 that opens a new area, and so on down the line. So at some point we may be able to ignore these once we have go mode, but you know, that's pretty much we'll come across that in a sec here. You'll notice the movement technique is pretty similar to Soden. You can see I'm backdashing and I'm canceling it, and it's done in a very different cadence, but the technique is the same. So basically in Symphony of the Night you can equip a shield and you can just basically mash both the shield and backdash and you'll cancel and you'll just fly. You know, there is a top speed, but you can fly forward while your back is turned, and then from there you have no issues, right? One sec while I equip all this gear. Okay, this guy has a guaranteed shard drop, so we need to kill it. Alright, awesome. And yeah, the main difference between this game and Soden in terms of the technique is that instead of using a shield, since we don't use those in this game, there's one shield, but it's also a weapon. we use crouch to cancel. So you don't see Miriam crouching, but that's because I'm doing it so fast that you don't see it. So you see the little dust from the backdash, but you don't see the crouch. And you can achieve this in two different ways. The first way is to press both buttons at the exact same time. Game gives you the benefit of the doubt and goes ahead and like lets you immediately continue backdashing. You can also delay it slightly, crouch after backdash, and that will get you pretty much the exact same result. The only thing is, if you're too slow, you will actually crouch and stop your momentum. And if you're too fast, you will crouch before you can backdash, and you won't even start your momentum. So it's a little bit of a tighter window. It's not as simple as just mashing both buttons. There is some timing and practice involved. So that's pretty much the basic movement. There's a couple other options. You know, Miriam has a jump here, of course, and she also has a slide, which you'll see me do a little bit, typically off of ledges, to get a little bit of extra horizontal movement before jumping. And there are a couple of accessories in the game that can make sliding and backdashing better, and if we find them, we'll probably end up equipping them, unless we find like the one better horizontal movement option in the entire game. So this is the intro section. There's not much to it, just kind of gets you familiar with the mechanics of the game. And that's pretty much it. And we've got a boss fight coming up here that's going to get us off the boat with another guaranteed shard drop. And while we're waiting for that to go ahead and load up here, I'll just explain to you the two items that we need to actually beat the game. The one is that sword I mentioned. It's a key item. That's how we make sure that we don't accidentally kill the mid-boss, and we get him to be defeated in the way we want to open up the last area. The other item we need is the purple shard dimension shift, and that's to get past a barrier right in front of the final boss to be able to even fight the final boss. Those are technically the only two items we need. We're also going to be looking for a way to do more damage, because fighting the end boss with just a melee weapon is pretty rough, especially because there's no weapons in this game as broken as Chrysogrim or Vorpal Blade or some of the other ones that are in Soten. So, yeah, pretty much those are the 2.5 things we need to beat the game. So we'll explain the shards and stuff like that in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and hand it off now as we're coming up on the town here. I'm just going to do some shopping, look at what's in the store, pick up a quest, and all that jazz, so we can go ahead and get in any donations or announcements that we need at this time.
So, what'll it be?
Yeah, so that's good timing, and we're done with shopping really quick. So yeah, well, we bought a couple things. We made some mental notes for later, but there's not really much going on in the shop right now. We sold some stuff. You can see Miriam does not do the kind of damage that Alucard would do with his fists. I'm going to go ahead and take this health refill. There's a teleporter room to the left there, but I don't need to grab that quite yet. I have Waystones, which are basically this game's library cards. So what it's going to do is a Waystone, if I use it from the menu, is going to teleport me back to that town shop area right there. Really good for speed. There's actually no way to break that barrier other than to go ahead and stand on it. And sometimes with the imprecise inputs, you get turned around. That's just the way it is. You know, depending on your controller, this is why a lot of players use leverless, but I'm old school. I like a D-pad. So now that we're on our way through the castle, this section is pretty straightforward. So we may as well explain the shard system. It pretty much follows a very similar system to the soul system in the DS GBA Vanias, and actually so does the melee combat. It's all the backdash, jumping, canceling kind of stuff remains intact. That's why you'll see a lot of the best runners get a lot more melee hits in. They're much better at the melee combat, and but it's not easy. It's definitely something you got to practice and get really good at. But yeah, you can kind of see the same thing, like the jump canceling of attacks. You can also cancel landing and all sorts of other stuff with backdashing. You can cancel backdashing with crouching and then jump, and you can loop all that stuff to get like a really nice combo going. But what we can explain, which is pretty important to the game, is the shard system, like I was saying. So there are a few different colors of the shards that you're going to see. You've already seen a red one and you've seen a purple one. Basically, they're almost the exact same. The red and purple, the only real difference is the purple ones are directional. They have to be aimed with the the second joystick. And they have some different properties. Like some of them charge MP per second and can be held out. But what's good about that is you actually only pay for the amount of frames the shard is being used. So like if I have a beam type shard or like a flamethrower type shard or whatever, that I hold it out. If I only hold it out for a few frames, that's the percentage of mana I pay. So they can be used a lot more in the game because they cost less mana. And you'll see a lot of us lean on those when we run the game. Hey, there's a purple shard. Okay. Aqua Stream is a very good one, actually, as well. Red shards, pretty much the same, except they're higher MP costs. They have unique effects. It's basically like a big spell cast. The problem is most of the MP costs are just way too high. Miriam doesn't regenerate MP fast enough or like have the right items to like get mana back. You can hit these torches to get mana roses, but that's often really slow. And it's not something we want to stop to be doing. Then there's a few more unique shards. Yellow ones are just pure passives. They just give a passive ability. The green ones are the pets, or like your companions that'll follow you around. Oh, I'm not one-hitting toads. That's rough. Okay. And then we have blue shards, which are very unique. They have like game-altering effects. There's only 9 of them. They all do very, very different and unique things. I'm actually going to go ahead and equip that Aqua Stream shard here. Get rid of those guys. And lastly, we have the white shards. Those are the game mechanic shards. They're like basically movement. All of them have some kind of movement ability except for one called Shortcut. And what Shortcut does is it gives you like a... Come here, buddy. All right. It gives you an ability to like save an item set and then re-equip it with a very quick like button press and joystick move. So it's not really movement ability, but all the rest of them are movement abilities. There's a double jump, there's a high jump. They kind of work exactly the same as they do in Soten. And then there's invert, which basically flips the castle upside down. Or flips a Miriam upside down, depending on how you look at it. So gravity still works in the normal way for objects. But like Miriam and certain enemies will be able to, cast spells in the ceiling and do all sorts of weird stuff with that. And then there's one called Deep Sinker, which lets you sink underwater. Normally, since you are, floaty in the water, the sinker will let you go into the water areas. There's other ways to swim, though, not just that way. The shard we have, Aqua Stream, is a way to swim, the purple shard. It will actually propel you underwater. And then there's also the invert shard will allow you to swim as well, because when you flip the water upside down, you normally can bob your way to the surface, and with Deep Sinker, and what that does is it lets you bob your way through the water, which then in turn lets you go through the sections just upside down. Okay, and the shard that we need to beat the game that passes that final barrier is called Dimension Shift, and it is a purple shard. And since all of our purple shards are only shuffled amongst other enemies that drop purple shards, that's why you're seeing me stop to farm some of these enemies. The shard drops are a random percentage. It's part of the RNG, the game within the game. If you've played a DS GBA Vania, you are very familiar with this and how it works. So, should be no surprise to you, but And it's not too bad. Some of them percentages are low, but you can generally kill enemies really fast. Normally you're not supposed to drop down here, but I got a shard called Reflector Ray that's going to allow me to get back up. And the weapon we're using right now is kind of mediocre, so I wanted to check these 2 weapon chests just to see if we could find a better weapon. Fortunately, we did not find a better weapon. But I can just get right back up there. Alright, cool. And then that guy dropped his purple shard as well. Okay, so there's a couple enemies that I just kind of abandoned. And I'm not going to do their purple shards right now. And that's because they just take too long to reset the rooms that are available to us right now. I think it's a better way to play where you come back and do those guys later, especially in the rooms that are better for farming them. Not everybody agrees with me. Everybody's got their own different style. They kind of like make the plays where they want to make them. I typically don't even farm the ones that I just did. I often abandon those guys as well, looking for movement first, and then I come back. Because in STS, you're guaranteed to know where all the warp rooms are, and especially if you have waystones that let you transport pretty easily, you can really dive deep into areas, and then you're not punished by having to backtrack. You can just teleport out. So what I could do is just pick up all the green rooms around where these guys are, and then I could pop back in later, and destroy them. Farm them up later when I maybe have a better weapon or a better shard that farms. That's just my style. But I've adjusted a little bit for marathon safety, of course, because, it is what it is. We don't want to abandon a purple shard on an enemy and then clear the whole castle looking for it and then realize, oh, I forgot this guy, and then come back later and all that. But we also still don't want to sit here and make you watch me kill toads for 20 minutes straight, because the drop percentage is like 3% on that. When we could farm it much faster later, and I could also do it with some movement. So there's our first white shard. That's high jump. That's basically the equivalent of gravity boots, if you're familiar with Soden. If not, you'll see me use it very shortly here. And then the reason I'm going to the left is because that shard was not invert. And the reason I'm going to the left is because there's a chance that this room over here spawns a safety invert for us. Okay, it didn't. Having an additional stack of high jump is not bad either. But this game, unfortunately, like all the games you're going to see for the most part here, I don't know of any that don't have actual logic in them. But ours does not, and that's a long story. Maybe we'll tell it later on in the run if it drags on. But effectively, this was not originally a randomizer when they promised this mode to the Kickstarter backers, and it became so after the fact. And I don't know if that had anything to do with them not hiring people to go ahead and write the logic that they would have needed to have, or if they just philosophically didn't think that that was necessary. It's a oft-debated topic in many communities, but that's just the way it is. So the seed I'm playing today has been vetted by somebody else to make sure it's completable, and anytime we do like any kind of competitive match, that has the potential to need a seed to be able to be finished, like a tournament race or something like that, we make sure that we vet the seeds ahead of time. That pet's actually going to get in my way if I leave him out, which is why I sent him to the Shadow Realm. Alright, and just another quick note on the logic. Basically what we do is, if we're in a competitive match and it's discovered that this is a soft lock, we just cancel the race or whatever. And then we go again. Alright. So it's not usually a big deal in STS though, with the logic. Rarely is there a soft lock in STS. It can happen. There's other bugs and glitches that can make it happen, but for all the flaws of the built-in randomizer, it still does allow us to have a lot of crossover with our community. It's available on all platforms and consoles, so that lets everybody play together, regardless of how they want to play. If we just played PC to fix all this stuff, we would just lose a lot of our players. A lot of them play on console, so that's a choice that we've made to try to be as inclusive as possible to everybody that wants to play. Okay, so that blue shard unfortunately doesn't do anything for us. Alright, checking that chest because it's an accessory check, and the best item in the game is an accessory. It is a accessory that says your MP does not go down or be reduced by using any abilities, basically. So you have to have the maximum amount of MP required to cast a spell, but then it costs 0 after that. Okay, that's cool. Do I want to do Ordog now? I don't think so. I think I do want to go over here, though, and get this teleport. So there's an accessory check to the left here. There's a teleport room to the left. And it will be the closest teleport to one of the last areas in the game that normally would unlock with a regular playthrough. So if we do have to go there, this will save us time to have this. Okay. Oh. And really what I'm looking for is I'm looking for something that lets me kill enemies a little bit faster and is a little bit more reliable. And then once I find that, then I'm probably going to start, going ahead and farming all the guys that drop purples. That red dog guy in the middle there, he drops a purple. But him, we got the one off Gargoyle here. So just that red guy, Ordog, and then Plume Parma and Toad that were from the beginning. That's the only ones we don't have right now that we've encountered. There's another one right here called Shield Outsider. But he takes a lot less damage from slashing. Farming him's not really practical either. So we're just going to kill him once and then we're going to move on. This guy right here, Larage, also drops one. But again, kind of impractical to farm him with this bad of a weapon. So I'm just going to go ahead and, again, move on. He's also in another couple areas. So you can find him with relative ease later. You can see how melee takes a long time to get going, actually. Which is why we're looking for magic damage. But this next section is pretty self-explanatory. We're just making our way to the next key item. So if we've got any more donations or announcements that we need to make, any comments, questions and stuff, feel free. And I'm just going to make my way to the next area. Yeah, we've got another boss here. Should make quick work of him with Aqua Stream. It's one of the better shards in the game. We can kind of talk about the different shards in the game and how good they are. There's a couple that are just, kind of super powered. They're like juiced, and Aqua Stream is one of them. It also opens up other areas in the game, so, it does a lot of good work there. It's probably a top 5 shard. It has a special property only 2 shards in the entire game have, in which we call it the crouch tech. So basically, if you crouch while you use the shard, it will spit out another You can see there that's just, you know, regular old aqua stream here, you're right. But if I crouch, all of a sudden I get 2 streams. And the, you know, the, so there's that, and then another shard called Chisel Barrage, which normally is only off of the, probably the hardest optional boss. So yeah, it's in a rare tier of at the top. I'd say there's probably only like maybe 4 shards at the very, very tippy top. Five shards at the very tippy top. And Aqua Stream is one of them. The 2 best are Faltaib and Void Ray. They're both super mana efficient, do a lot of damage. They're both Dark Element, which is good for one of the final bosses is weak to Dark. So that usually comes into play. They just have really good rates of doing damage on top of what they cost for MP. There's a lot of good shards in the game that just have like a single flaw. Like the damage doesn't tick fast enough, so you have a little bit of delay in what you can do to you know, enemies and stuff like that, or they cost too much MP or whatever. You know, if MP is not an issue, there's a whole different tier list for shards basically. But yeah. So, oh, I actually could have went the other way. I didn't have to go this way. I have Reflector Ray. I forgot all about it. Yeah, so this section right here, I could have skipped this by going up a different way, but that requires Reflector Ray or Dimension Shift, and I totally forgot that I had Reflector Ray. And that's what happens when you commentate and play at the same time. You you just forget things that you've done, or what you have, and so on. Okay, this is OD. He lets you borrow books. The books make you smarter. And basically, he'll let you borrow another book for each time you've left the library and then made 2 area transitions, whether it's via teleporter room or just opening the doors. Although the doors thing doesn't always work correctly. Sometimes you can get bugged at like only 2 out of 2 instead of 3 out of 3. He has a little similar gimmick to the librarian in Soten there, in which you hit him against the ceiling and he gives you a little item chest. We do that because it's an accessory check. Again, we're looking for accessories, yeah. Not really much I can do here except for just keep playing. So not finding the key item by now is pretty atypical that we're looking for, but it's not completely unheard of. There's another boss in the zone to the right of where we are right now that has been known to hoard it. Okay, invert. That's interesting. That gets us into a couple more areas that we normally wouldn't be able to get into. Not super necessary for right now, but you know, it will speed us up slightly. Okay, we're going to farm her for her blue shard here. Because the blue shard could be the thing that makes us go the fastest in the game. And it's not. But, you know, why not? Cheeky little damage boost there. And we found some accessories that give us luck, so we're equipping those to try to get the drop rates from enemies to be a little bit better. But mostly I'm checking the accessory locations, because if I find the accessory that we're looking for, it makes life way easier. Infinite MP, in theory, is just really, really good, and there's nothing better. Even the most medium of shards become really, really good if they're free. So the game is kind of a balance of, especially in STS, of like trying to find the things you need, but also like going slightly out of your way for things that can make finding those things way faster. We also could use a better weapon if we... Okay, that's the best weapon you can find in a chest in the entire game, so... It's not that much more impressive than any other typical sword, but it does do a lot more damage. That's a hat that has luck as well. Okay, this guy also drops blues. So we're looking for a purple, but blues have... There's only 9 of them, and so you have a 1 in 9 chance every time you get a blue shard drop from a different blue dropping enemy. And the blue shard droppers have a chance to drop a shard called Accelerator, and what that shard does is basically makes you run at like 10 times speed. So we want it. It's super fast. We probably won't find it, but, you know, it is what it is. If we're going to run by an enemy that drops a blue shard, we may as well kill him. You never know. You can get lucky. Oh, I wasn't even going to grab that chest, but we landed up there anyway, so... Oh, right, yeah, the chests. So the chests are color-coded, sort of. The green could be any kind of recipe, or it could be any kind of weapon, accessory, armor, helmet. There's a couple of unique green chests, actually, as well, that have food in them that can replace an item, which is not good, because it can replace a key item chest, which is really bad. I think they're coded only like that one right there, that curry powder. That's normally a blue chest. That was a replacement. That happens to a key item chest. That's one of the ways your game can get soft locked. I think their supposedly originally intention was to only be able to replace blues, but for whatever reason that there is, they can replace anything, which isn't great. Brown chests will have a usable item in them always, so like a piece of food or bullets of some kind. Blues will have miscellaneous items. They could have gems. They could have money. They could have food as well. There's all sorts of stuff in there. And then red chests have money in them. So the one thing about the green chests is that they are positionally unique in that, like, a chest that has a weapon in it in STS will, even though it is green, will not be shuffled with other greens. Like I mentioned, it will only be shuffled with other weapons. So there is that. And then this guy drops a purple, and there's not really much else we can do here but try to get it. Because we really don't want to come back to this area. We have an auto-scroller boss, and we definitely don't want to come back up here later if we don't have to. Unfortunately, though, we just don't have an efficient way to kill these guys at the moment. I might actually be better off... Okay, never mind. I might actually be better off coming from the other way and killing the other guy with melee, but there you go. Oh, nice. Not the best luck, but not the worst either, so we'll take it. We really could use some good armor here. There's a secret chest up here with armor in it. That's better than what we're wearing. Okay, and this is an auto-scroller boss, so this is actually the 100% perfect time to catch up on any donations, announcements, questions, so on that we have. Basically, I'm just going to do damage to both of these dragon heads, and then at the end, they're going to die, and then we're going to get a key item, and they're going to drop a purple shard. That's it. So go ahead. Headphone user warning. Even with the audio turned really low, that's just super loud. There's not much we can do about it. Don't know why they made it so loud in the game, but here we are. Okay. Still not the droid we were looking for, but this is interesting. So we only have one key item location left, and that's actually kind of what we needed to get in there logically. We needed the Craftwork Shard and the Aegis Plate. We could have cheated our way in with a little clip that you can use during with invert. So we were probably going to do that either way, but they just gave us the legit way to get in, so we can do that. Unfortunately, we don't have any good way to deal any damage. So I'm just going to do a quick little save split here. This is where having the actual real timer matters, because if you save split, the timer in the game doesn't really know how to handle that. So, and normally we don't allow save splitting in races, just because, again, with the difference between the console and PC, like the load times are just kind of like ridiculous, and it's totally unfair. But hey, we're not running against anybody here, so in the interest of speed. Okay, and what I'm going to do actually is, now that we're kind of like shored up, I'm just going to take a quick little gamble here, and I'm going to look for this blue shard drop. This is an area that I could theoretically go to, but I don't want to go yet, because I know the key item that I'm looking for is not here. However, the purple shard that I'm looking for could be here. But this enemy in the front here, Lily, she drops a blue shard. And if it's that speed one that I was mentioning, actually, maybe we do want to go to the train, because it has another blue drop chance. And it has 4 purples for us to look at. Ooh, okay, yeah. I think we will go, because the section that we need to go to now is really hard. We could go underwater as well. But there's no key items down there. There's only purple shards, and there's only 2 of them. Well, technically 3 of them. Because there's one in the caverns, one in the desert area, and one in the lava area. This boss won't be too bad, since we have a good melee weapon in Aqua Stream. Actually, neither boss will be, so this isn't going to be that bad. It's all going to be about drop percentages, so we have to hope that we get... This guy right here, Assassin, he drops a purple, so he's in the next section after the train, though, as well. So what we do is we farm him in the section, because as you can see, there's a timer there. If we go off the rails on the crazy train, we lose. So we do have to finish this on time. You can see this is Zangetsu. Here's our buddy. He's the Richter of this game. You can play as him. He plays just like Richter. You can do all of his crazy special attacks like he just did there. And, you know, but he, like, sacrifices all the equipment and all the magic spell shards we're casting and stuff like that. One of my favorite runners, Bobby, if you've seen him play, he does speedruns of the Zangetsu mode, and he's always great to watch, so shout outs to Bobby. And shoutouts to David Hayter for doing the voice of Zangetsu. That voice sounded familiar. That is David Hayter. I usually put the Japanese voices on too, which is you know, just a preference thing, but this part always likes to delay a little bit. All right. So we still need the assassin purple. Hopefully our boy will hook us up here. And this is another great point to, you know, catch up on anything, do some donos. We're just going to be farming this guy for a while. But I can talk about some of the other stuff in the game if, you know, we don't have anything else going on. Forgot I had the armor on that does damage to somebody when they touch the hitbox. That'll break lamps and let you regen your MP a little bit better. Every enemy makes like a death cry. So sometimes it doesn't come out though if you have overriding sound effects, but yeah, they have that little weird color change as well, like they turn all red and they dissipate into a bunch of particles. Okay, 2 more purples to go, and then we also have another blue shard. And we have a few different accessory checks here as well. There's, I think there's 2 or... Actually, it might be 3. So those are always nice to have. More chances to get those shades that we really need to get that infinite MP and have a way easier time. Okay, Bomber Mort is not really cooperating with us here. The one big downside is the randomness of the drops. Once you learn how to cope with that, you know, it's a lot of fun. Okay, I'll just go ahead and take a full refill here. We definitely don't want to come back to this area, so... And then the 4th one, thankfully, is on a boss. It's a guaranteed drop, so... Hey! Oh, that's a good one. So Void Ray is one of the best shards in the game, if not the best shard in the game. It's definitely top 2. It has really good damage. It ticks very, very rapidly, so you get a lot of good damage for your mana. And it also hits full screen. So if you can see it, you'll hit it. And see, for only about 5 MP there, I'm doing a ton of damage, so... And I can do it from the safety of being nowhere near the boss. Although this guy is just being super annoying right now. I don't know what was up with him. So you trade like the DPS for safety there. Okay. I guess we'll go and head and finish off. Oh, okay. That's what we were looking for. So we don't have infinite MP, but the way this works, we're actually going to have a really good time here. Okay. Because we can still break all of the lamps and stuff. So we definitely need to go to the lab up top now. Because we definitely need the Zangetsu Toe Sword. And there's only really one place it can be. Unless we're soft locked, which would be oh. Well, this is why you practice, folks, because there's a safety location for it that I didn't check. Because I forgot about it. Which is, again, why you don't want to commentate and play at the same time. So, if it's here... Yep, it's here. Alright, so that makes me look like a fool. But it is what it is. This is why you practice.
What are we transmuting this time?
Okay, nothing important here. I think I already found Aegis Plate. Yeah, I did. Real quick. Okay, there's another accessory quest behind that I just wanted to check and make sure. We're going to grab the fortune book. Now we can go a couple different places. All right. Now we're in a dash to the end. So yeah, if you see me skipping green chest, it's because I know that there's nothing in the green chest. Like, I know it's a recipe. Shoot. Okay, that's good. Oh, we got him already. Okay. So we need Larage. Alright. We need this guy, Ordog. We need a guy right below him here, which I'm also going to go down and check an accessory real quick, and then I'm going to pour it out, and then we're going to take care of the Raj, who's right by the library teleport. Okay, come on, buddy. Play along. Oh yeah, we did get Plume Parma right away. That's pretty good luck, actually. He can be an issue. Again, I just didn't remember, so. If we have to go down all the way to, okay. If we have to go down all the way to the desert area, the water, what we'll do is go the other direction so we can check those accessories as well. There's just some areas where, you know, like there's accessory checks in, it's just not worth it for us to go there, so even to get the infinite mana, especially now with Void Ray does a really good job of getting the job done without needing a ton of mana on the end fight. And we've got pretty good mana potions for regen. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to go and grab all these stat ups, just to make our endgame safer. Okay, I'm going to pour it out. I don't think we need another book. I think we're fine. Oops. Okay. Actually, let's just do this. I think I will take that third book now. So we will need it where we're going, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, almost close to a really good red there that we might have been able to use. Fun fact, Aqua Stream not only moves you through the water, but it costs 0 MP when you use it in the water. So it's a pretty good way to get around underwater. It's definitely faster than the other ways. Okay, 2 accessory checks here. Hopefully finding glasses. If not, not a huge deal. Gauge glasses are not the glasses we're looking for. We're looking for Jeeble's glasses. So that's always fun to get trolled by those. Love it. Okay. Sister Zion's another good shard. It's a beam shard, but it doesn't really do anything for us at this point. It's a little bit better for if we have to farm certain enemies that are resistant to like whatever else we have, but we don't really have any of those right now. It becomes way more useful in max cast, where there's a bunch of stuff that takes more damage from light, that's weak to light, and then we can really like get some use out of it. It's great if you don't have any other beam, but its rate of damage is much slower than Void Ray. So like, you know, it takes longer for Rosian to be able to come out and do damage again. Like, you know, it'll do damage, then you have to wait like 2 seconds before it can deal damage again, where it's like Void Ray, it's like a half second. Then you can deal damage with Void Ray again. We might use it to farm Abyssal Guardian if we are stuck farming him, but I'm hoping to use Aqua Stream and have infinite MP if we have to do that, so we'll see. Okay, there we go. That's what we needed. So we have everything we need to go ahead and beat the game now. Just going to make sure that I didn't finish any quests.
What are we transmuting this time?
I can't make any more of those because we are capped. Okay, cool. So we can now sell everything we don't need and just buy more healing, if there's any more in the shop. Ooh, nice. Okay. Okay, so we need like 100 more to... Let me try to get to... Yep, so... Okay, so we didn't have any food, unfortunately, but we did pretty well everywhere else. Alright. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright, so now we're going to go beat the mini-boss. We have to basically deal enough damage to this guy to engage the final phase, but then we have to jump up and attack the thing that's controlling him instead of him to win the fight. And if we defeat him, we get the bad ending, so... Oh, and I didn't save either. That's not smart of me. With Accelerator, we might be able to sub-hour, but I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and switch swords now. You have to get him down to about 600 HP. Oh, so yeah, I really don't want to hit him more than I need to there. Okay. And yeah, so since we're winding down here, feel free to get anything last that we need to get in. We're heading into the final section. It's going to be pretty much just a mad dash. But we've got a couple minutes. So go ahead. Yeah. You can't enter this last area without the sword cutting the moon like you did in the fight. Yeah. Yeah, even without infinite MP, we're pretty much fine here. We've got a bunch of MP potions, so we'll use those to get through the fight. The last boss has 2 phases. The first is Dominique. If you play through the story, you'll notice her. She kind of is the old trope of, betraying you towards the end and siding with the enemy. Here's a boss. Say hi to this boss, because we're skipping him. Ooh, that's a great MP to be placed right there. Huh? Went too early. You can see why Accelerator is so good. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, you really are moving at like almost. It's got to be at least 5 times speed. It might be faster. I don't know. I'd love to time it, but it's just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, get a non-accelerator Miriam, run across a room. Okay, just gonna do extra cautious stuff here to not get hit. We also don't want to burn healing items before we get to the final boss, just in case we get hit. Yeah, we're good. Okay, no more enemies to get hit by. And you can see these giant brick devices, there's literally no way to get by them except for this little teleporty shard, so that's why we need it. Okay, sure. Yeah, we didn't have any way to poison anybody, right? No. A lot of bosses in this game are actually vulnerable to poison, which is quite hilarious. But we're mostly just going to be Void Raying here. Just going to try to stay away from all of her crazy attacks. If you keep your distance, it's pretty hard for Dominique to really do a ton of damage to you. And as I mentioned earlier, she's weak to dark, so she's taking extra damage from all this. In fact, she should be taking more because I should have put this intelligence cap on. There's nothing I can do. I could try to teleport past that, but it's faster to just take that hit if you can. And all right, so we had mana to spare. That's really nice, actually. Killing her with 1 mana bar, still completely intact. You continue to regen MP through the cutscenes and stuff, which is cool. I still can't move Miriam, but I'm still starting to regen here, which is great. Okay. And we shouldn't really get hit by anything like the boss throws out at the base level. Like, we should never get hit by these. We might get hit by some of the more incidental stuff, like the green stuff. Depending on, like, what gets dropped on us. Alright, yeah. So I'm, commentator's curse. But, like, a lot of this stuff's really easy to evade when you have movement shards. It's when you come here without, like, anything but invert, stuff becomes very hard to evade. When you have double jump or high jump, it's a lot easier to evade. There you go, folks. That's time. Under an hour. With a couple of big mistakes, too. So basically, if I would have checked the safety location for the sword, I would have had the sword. I would have defeated Jeeble while we were up there the first time. And then I wouldn't have had to go back. So that's probably about, I don't know, maybe like... So we didn't go back until after I had Accelerator, right? So I'm not sure if I would have farmed for Accelerator. Or if I would have made the train play. But the thing about the train play is it's 4 purples versus 3 to the underground. But then you also have the blue that's in the train that you can't get otherwise, and then there's the extra accessory checks. Underground has 2. That one has 2, so that's even basically. It was it's kind of a toss up really. It's almost a pure gamble, either way. So no real right or wrong situation there, but I think it's always correct to avoid OSL and like the area in the top left that we did not go to, where you fight Zangetsu a second time, and that's normally where you get the Zangetsu Toe Sword from, in the base game. But also, you know, there's a lot of other things I could have done. I could have went to the with Zangetsu Toe in hand. I could have not only defeated the boss, but I could have went into that final area. There's an accessory check in the ice there. There's another one to the right of where you teleport in. That's the second one you could do. I could have also farmed the bosses that were in there. The Abyssal Guardian reappears from the library as a regular enemy as I ran past. And that boss that was in the spikes that we skipped right by, he drops a purple as well. And then there's another 2 purples in the ice area. There's Demon Lord, and then there's the boss Gremory, who normally you would have to defeat to get Dimension Shift. That would have been vanilla. But those are all pretty slow because those enemies have a lot of health and they're tough to defeat. So typically, you won't see us go to a harder area early unless we think it's like the gamble we have to make to win a race or something like that. So if you take your time, you go to the areas in order. The being underleveled for being in a randomizer, having less gear or less options doesn't punish you as hard as if you go to one of those higher end areas where enemies do more damage, have more health. You know, so that's typically the route we're going to follow. Just on a basic run, just go to the areas of the base castle that you're familiar with, and like kind of avoid the areas where there's nothing. There's a whole sorcery lab on the side that we don't even go to at all. All that's in it is 1 blue shard. There's no accessory checks in it at all. So, and it's tough to get into. Like, you only need to invert to get into the lava area that's behind it in from the other direction, the desert area where I was when we found Dimension Shift. To get into the lab the other way, you have to have Deep Sinker, the movement shard that sinks you in water, and you have to have Reflector Ray. If you have Dimension Shift, there's no reason to go there. Because you'd only be going there to then get to the lava area, to then get to the lava area's enemies. But the thing is, if you have Deep Sinker, you can get to the desert area. The only reason is you would go there again, to get to the fire area without invert. So if you have those things, but you don't have invert, then you would be going in that direction. Yeah, I know that sounds confusing, but let me just pop back into the game real quick, and I'll show you the map. So basically, this area right here and down below in the desert, this is where we are. It goes to the left like this, and then it goes down in here to the lava area, and then there's a lab that's in this area. Now, this area of the water, you can go to this other direction. Down here, you go into this water area, and then there's that area where I said you needed Reflector Ray and Deep Sinker. That takes you into this lab, and this lab can take you down to the lava area. But going this way from the desert, you need invert to get through this little area, or you need Dimension Shift. So if you have Dimension Shift, you wouldn't be going this way. You would not even be going here at all in STS. You wouldn't care. Because the only thing that's in the lava area that you need to beat the game, there's no key items. It's just the 1 purple shard check. There's no purple shard checks in this lab that's over here, and there's just the 1 that's down here in the desert. In Max Cast, it's different. If you need to check all these treasure chests because you're looking for the Zangetsu Toe Sword, then it might come into play a little bit more often. But it's very rare. It happens once in a great while that, because all these things have to line up. First of all, you have to have Reflector Ray. Second of all, you have to have Deep Sinker. And then third, you have to have done all the other purple shards in the game before you get to this one, with the exception of the ones that say are in, I know actually you can do every single one in the game before you get to this one, and then you come back for this one. I would leave this one to last if that's how the seed lined up anyway. So pretty rare. We almost never see that area in the game, but yeah, then there's another area up here called the Oriental Sorcery Lab, and that is where some story stuff happens. There's 3 purple checks there, or is it 2? Kamikaze. Oh yeah, there's 3 purple checks because there's a super optional boss Carpenter, and then Carpenter can also summon Demon Lord from the ice area. So there's technically potentially 4 here if you you have to fight the super boss. But then there's also the key item up here on the Zangetsu 2 fight where you refight Zangetsu, and he uses more of his abilities than you do in the very first castle boss fight where you fight him the first time. But I thought that's where we might have to go. I thought it might be vanilla sword, but we had the safety sword. So more than likely, since there's key item chests in the in this area, the Den of Behemoths, that one that we got up here, and then there's another one down here in the glacial area. It was probably in one of those two places. Well, I think we picked this one up, but we didn't check this one that's over here. And if it was in one of these areas, actually I can go back up and look real quick. Instead of just talking about it, I can just go back up and look. Yeah, so that's where it was. You can see because that treasure chest is empty, and we never got this. So the game actually did detect that it was in here, and then it spawned the safety. The only problem with this is that it's decent at detecting this in the STS mode. When you go to max chaos mode, it is not good at detecting this because the items are shuffled everywhere. So I had a max chaos seed where I played in the last episode that dies at the end to a soft lock. Or is it last episode or the episode before? One of the previous episodes, I have one that I literally farmed everything. And more than likely, the treasure chest that had the sword was here or in the previous area with all the giant enemies. But the game did not recognize that because it was not in this specific location or in this specific location of this chest up here. And then since it didn't know that, it did not spawn the safety Zangetsuto, and then I couldn't get in here to get the rest of the stuff that I needed to try to complete the game. So, that's just kind of how it goes with our game. These are some interesting, cool things that we'll probably end up covering on the for sure MC run. That's a bonus run a week after the marathon. But I'm going to go ahead and refill this water. We're going to get another STS in before I'm out of here for this session. So enjoy this title screen music, and I'll be right back. All right. Yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. Sub-hour run's nice. I haven't been getting as many of those lately as I would like. And we're going to do another one, and that's going to be it for me. I don't want to mess my voice, so I'm probably only going to be doing commentary practice for one of each run in each session. So I'm just going to play here, try to focus. I'll point out when I make mistakes or when I'm what I'm thinking, but when I get hopefully I have a chance on Saturday, and I do have to run some errands on Sunday. So after those are done, I'm gonna probably come home and practice for that. So it'll be a little later than Sunday than I scheduled probably, but I should be able to get some runs in. But I need to write write down those initial thoughts, just to go through everything as fast as possible. And then once I have that and I'm just reading it, it'll be a lot easier to memorize and then also pay attention to what I'm doing. Yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah. Gotta love base Z Saber. Oh, is that lucky or is that 100%? Sometimes Mort can just drop 100%. Alright, pretty clean movement. I'm definitely warmed up, which is nice. Ooh, that's really good. Okay, so I shouldn't have paused. I should have paused there to equip both of those items, as opposed to equipping the armor right away. There's nothing here that drops a purple. That's not guaranteed, so like I didn't need the luck right away. Oh my goodness. Well, we're in go mode before we're out of the tutorial area, so alright. That's wild. If Jeebel's glasses are in this accessory check right here, this might be the fastest seed possible. We just have to find like any decent offense, and we can just go. If we can find glasses. I'm not even gonna hit that box. Don't need it. The problem is if the game's gonna test my melee skills. Okay. I was say I don't have a strong answer. My melee is definitely not on par to be able to do the end fights by themselves. So basically now we're just looking for offense. If we can find Jeebel's glasses, we'll go. Any medium power shard is good enough. So we're looking for... Oh, is that 2 critical rings? So we're looking... I didn't even know that was possible. So yeah, basically what we're doing now is really just looking for offense. We're looking for offense. We have to make our way through the castle to a certain part to obviously defeat the boss we have to defeat and open the last area, but... Nice waystone. That's reassuring too, because then if they're not in the shop, we at least have one to be able to come back later and. Okay, summon rat's not what we need. Oh, Ice Ring's cool though. Okay.
What are we transmuting this time?
I thought that was Jeebel's glasses for a second. I was about to be like, no way. Okay, we have 2 cursed rings. That actually could do it. You know what? That could do it. Double curse ring kind of makes me want to go for the melee option. Alright. Let's go back here and do this real fast. Wow. 4-minute Aaronville? That's so wild. I mean, if one of these purples on the way to where we gotta go is like Void Ray or Faltib, we're money. Even without Jeebles, so. Okay. Okay, that's not going to show us another accessory, but the next set of quests will. Oh, I hate katanas so much. I hate their hitbox, I hate their swing speed. I love them in so many games, but in this game, they are, in my opinion, booty. Okay, this could be glasses right here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh. Alright, no more accessory checks for a little while, so that's sad. I don't think I'm even going to go into the middle of the garden. Yeah, we're just going to go right up on the... Right up the first pathway. There's no reason to go over there, right? No, yeah. Because we already have Z-Saber, so I don't need a weapon. As good as Valkyrie Sword is, and as better as it would be, I don't think we want to waste our time with that. Sure. Sure. Come on, buddy. Give me a good purple. Help me out. I might just want to abandon this. I don't know. Come on, man. Hook me up, BGK. Come on, brother. Alright. He's also in the next couple sections. See if Barbados is any more cooperative. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong one. If it was Flamethrower, I'd be like, oh, sweet, we're all in my glasses now. Ah. Watch it not be. Yep. Of course. It's not a big deal. We have dimension shift, but being able to go up and down without spending a bunch of mana would be nice. Nope. Alright, so I'm not sure there's a way to avoid going to the library now. I mean, if we want to beat the game without embarrassing ourselves, that is. Oh, this is the thing about climbing with this stupid shard. It's just so... It's so unreliable. Ugh. Actually. Oh boy, here we go. Unbelievable. Ugh. Fine. Accelerator glasses here would be absolutely insane. Well, vanilla craft works interesting. Alright, I think we check the other one and then we go across. We go up library the normal way. I don't think teleporting up is the way to do it. Because we have dimension shift, so we can just that doesn't really change anything. We have dimension shift, so we can just like dimension shift through the door if we need. I mean, what do we need the key item for? We don't even need the key item for anything. I don't need to fight Abyssal Dragon. I don't need any of that BS. All I need us to do is to check accessories. And that's it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to check accessories. Just going to teleport back down. This will save me some time, actually. Come on, BGK. Hook me up, bro. Drop your purple. It can be crappy. Just drop it. Ugh. Come on, man. Hook me up. I don't think I can sit here and farm him, though. We've already killed like 70 of them or some shit. Okay. Ammo, don't care. Can't attack him. Okay. That's fine. So this is what I meant by 2.5. We need some kind of damage. And we just don't have it with what we've got right here. Do I care about... No, I think I already have Aegis Blade, don't I? Yeah. Awesome. Oh boy. Oh, if we can find infinite mana, that's good enough. Come on, glasses. Where my glasses at? Where my glasses homies at? That's definitely good enough we can find glasses. Okay. Please be glasses? Oh, do I go for the... No, I can't. I can't farm Lily right here. Come on. I just have to go for glasses. Glasses and... We just have to hope that there's glasses somewhere. Alright, Wolfman was right here. I was always going to try the one Wolfman and see what happens. You never know. Never know how crazy lucky you could get. So the thing about this area is that stuff like Reflector Ray and Dimension Shift does not work in these like 2.5D areas. So I actually have no movement in this section. Ugh. But I do in this section. Okay, don't care about the weapon. What's up here? Headgear? Oh, that's actually great. There it is. What are we doing with this? I guess we're doing that. Yeah, nothing with that. And then... Got it. Okay. Alright, there's an accessory check down on the left. And then there's another one on our way up. Rolsha could also bless us with Accelerator. Okay, well that kind of really helps our defense out if we can find glasses. So it's not that bad. Those are the wrong glasses, game. Come on. Why you do this to me? Why you give me all these good stuff and then be like, nah. just gonna go right in here because there's no real bonus I can get. I'm talking OD first. Since I don't have a good directional, so the best I could do is get some like stats, and it doesn't even matter. There's only one sword and chest with more attack power in this. That's Valkyrie, so. Andy, can you just, like, stop being a piece of crap? Yeah, come down here and fight me. There we go. I think this is also a hat, but I can't really do much better than this hat. I can do, let's say I could do, Diablo Cap for the magic damage if we can actually make that work, but... I mean, I have failed CU, which is good enough, but I need infinite mana for that. It's just, it costs way too much MP. Come on, buddy. Just give me your purple so I can get out of here. Oh, that's big. Okay. I think we're... Yeah. I still gotta check over here. Because if this is glasses, this is like tons of time shaved off, but... Okay. Oh. Awesome! I didn't know these were in this stupid room. Okay, so unfortunately I have only dark damage for this fight, but whatever. Yeah, well, I'll take Void Ray with a Jet Seed and no glasses. I'll take Void Ray. Void Ray plus Deadeye Book is fine with me. I'll go back and get the Imp Book too. Ooh. I see what you're about to try to do to me, boy. No, thank you. I will not get Tail Swipe today. Thanks. I have double jump. Why didn't I just double jump? Alright, fine. You want to be like that? Be like that. Play it real safe here. Oh man. Come on, glasses. Well, I might actually wear that, so I can't be too upset about it. Okay, I think sub 30's off the table, but maybe sub 40's definitely on here. I don't remember what items I had. I think I only had regular ethers. I have to check the shop, but Rose Ring, Cursed Ring. Cursed Ring was in the shop though, wasn't it? Yeah. Ugh. Man, this is rough. Rough.
So, what'll it be?
Yep. 100%. Good old shop boss. Well, we're going. It is what it is. I'll probably have to kill Bale with melee, but those BGK drops foul tape for me right here. Come on, buddy. You know you want to. I can't go to the right. It's probably worth the gamble. I think going to the right's worth it. Because if it's not glasses, I'm looking at like at least, what, like 10 minutes, maybe more? If it is, oh god damn it! I didn't even push up! I mean, if I had more potions, I'd say yeah, way less. But Dom's gonna be a pain. I have no poison, and if I had poison, even I wouldn't even bother with this. Yeah. I mean, there's still the Hail Mary accessory check, I guess, but what's this like a? This was a, what, like a 45-second loss or something? Oh no, yeah, no, I'm not. I already went right in the garden. That's how I got up to the library in the first place. I didn't bother trying to climb. Ugh. Yeah, I didn't bother trying to do this up the shaft because well we didn't need Z since it was in the first chest, so I didn't really care what was in the chest up there. Not to mention if we really did care, we have dimension shift to just go the other way. I was like, let me get to the library first. Because if I get to the library and, you know, somebody drops Taib or something on the way, then I'm just going to rush straight there. But I don't know if I can do it without at least the books. So I figured let's go up through the library because I had craft work. Or I could have just, you know, DS'd across anyway. But, I was like, I definitely need the directional book for sure. And actually, I'll probably grab a second book on my teleport out here. How are we gonna do this? I mean, as much as I want to kill him, what's Accelerator gonna do for me right now? I was hoping for like a fish or something. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of healing either, which is another problem. Oof. At least I got double jump. I got some evasion that's not invert. Yeah, I mean, I could have, like, no offense whatsoever in the shard form. Void Ray is huge. It's going to get me past Dom, but it's going to be, like... It's going to take a super slow... It's going to be a super slow bail. I picked up a decent amount of mana rocks, so that's good. Alright, Cursed. Cursed. With double Curse Ring, actually, it might be pretty good. I don't know. See how much damage we're doing in a second here. Yeah, 400 health is pretty low. 300 MP though is Huh. Oh yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Double Curse Ring to the rescue. Ooh. Look at this ghost trying to ruin me. Oh. Take the bonus 2 int there, thank you. Alright. Yeah, I mean, if we found glasses, we were money, because I had Hellhound, I had Felt to You before I found Void Ray. So, if I had glasses, I'd have just zoomed. Been out of there. Alright. No cat, please? No kitty? Oh, cool. It just ate my second jump input. Thanks for the free 99 damage, game. Of course. How could it have been anything else? Oh. I misread that completely. Ugh. Let's have an egg. Let's crack an egg. Oh my god. How am I going to survive the cat? How did I even get hit by any of this BS? What the fuck is this platform? Oh yeah, it's over. Is that new? I better save the high potion. It would be you and me, landlord. Okay, no cat again and we're good. Please lizard me. Can I get a king gizzard and a lizard wizard just one time, dealer? Of course it only had one hit left. Oh man. Alright, good sesh. Good sesh. Good seshies. Two quick ones. That's the fastest one I've had in practice so far, for sure. And then I had like a 40-something in the last one. 47, something like that. So that's pretty cool. Ugh. I kind of, honestly, this being the 5th day in a row playing for... How long have I been playing? I'm almost... I've played... I didn't warm up again. I really need to remember to warm up first. Like at least like 5 minutes of just backdashing or whatever. Backdashing, jumping, slide jump, kicking, all that stuff. I will say after playing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday all in a row, my hands are not happy. It's mostly my thumbs. Because obviously I'm jamming this all the time. And the thumbs don't get a whole lot of work when you PC game. Like this thumb doesn't do any work. Because it's just over here. It maybe hits mouse 4 or 5 sometimes, and that's it. And this thumb basically hits spacebar every now and again, and that's like not even all that. So, yeah, I mean, I type all day long, but like in bursts, you know, people send me messages. I type at like 60 plus because I'm old and I grew up playing MMOs before we had voice chat programs. So like, you know, I'm used to spamming with 100 people in a raid zone, but the thumbs are definitely like, hey man, can you fucking lay off for a day or two? Which I am. I'm not playing tomorrow. I'm not playing tomorrow, but On Saturday, I probably will get at least one MC in. I'm gonna wake up on Saturday. Uh, I have. I'm going to a friend's house Saturday night to play some cards, and then I'll probably play at least an MC on Saturday. So, yeah, it's gonna be 6 days a week, like I said. Yeah, well, what I'm gonna be doing in the next, I got to do the script writing thing, which I said I was gonna do. But the other thing I'm gonna be doing is studying the data. I want to make sure I know inside and out the Alcahest drop pools. I know Oak includes an Alcahest. I know Ecto includes an Alcahest, and then there's the one that has the 2x, and I need to remember what other items drop that. So like I gotta do a little bit of memorizing for that. I gotta memorize the Beast Killer drop pool, the Aarmor drop pool. Just because if I max, I might want to farm that weapon. It probably not, but but I definitely need to remember I need to know all three Alcahest pools upside down and inside out, so that I know like, okay, that could drop Alcahest, so I might have to farm that. And then other than that, I have a document, or a really nice Google document that like it's a map of the whole castle that Scott Moon made, and I think I altered like one thing that was forgotten, but I have that, and that has every item location on it, just to make sure that I'm like 100% on every item location. It won't really matter too much, because I'm sure the vetted MC will be not that bad, but don't want to get embarrassed. Okay, the time 2 is the ectoplasm one. So the other one is a single, and it's with Oak and maybe something else. Is Oak the rare drop? I think it is. There might actually be 2 more with a single Alcahest. I don't remember. I'm interested now. There it is. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Ghost, Poltergeist, Amy. So there's 3. So the Ghost one is Ectoplasm, Ether, Alcahest, Summon. Those 3. So Ectoplasm, Ether, Alcahest, single Alcahest. The Poltergeist one is Alcahest and Oak. So the Ecto, Ether, Alcahest is a 12% for Alcahest. The Alcahest Oak is a 10% Alcahest, and the Alcahest times 2 Ecto is another 12%. That's Amy's. So there's 3. Yeah. So Oak and Ectoplasm, I have to be on the lookout. And Ether, if an enemy drops an Ether. Do any other enemies drop Ethers? No, only Ghost drops regular Ether. Okay, so that's great. But like that's like the little info I'm gonna be brushing up on for MCs. And I've got a decent amount of downtime at work. I don't want to. I want to knock on wood myself and don't curse myself being super busy, but I'm definitely going to. I wanted to do a few more self-com runs where I kind of like, do I like what I'm saying here? Do I not want to like what I'm saying before I try to write the script? And then I think next week, when I have a little bit of free time here and there, especially when I'm at the 2 offices where there's a bunch of Macs that I don't have to do a whole lot of work at, I'm gonna start just typing to hell, and I'm gonna type a big long thing and then just start cutting stuff out. I'm like, all right, what don't I need here? What don't I need to mention there? What don't I need to mention here? Get that going, and then with that plus the game studying knowledge, yeah. So I'm giving myself, again, like 5 days a week. If my hands are good, extra on Saturday, 2 runs per day, double MC Sunday, double STS Monday, one of each Tuesday and Wednesday, double STS Thursday. Because Monday and Thursday are the 2 days I get off of work later in the day, and then Monday into Tuesday I have a late off into early start, and then same thing Thursday to Friday. So I'm just doing two STSs, so I make sure I'm not up like an hour, extra hour or whatever, blah blah blah. And I can always abandon the MCs, but I definitely like. No, I do not play hard mode. The incentives are bid war for which I'm playing STS or MC, and then bid war for file name. Um, right? Yeah. And then is there one other thing? There's some kind of community thing they have listed, but I don't know what that means. Uh, category bid war, community runs, max rando. So maybe the community runs is just a placeholder for it's STS or max rando. Like I don't know. I'm gonna be prepared to run either one. So there you go. Like I don't know exactly what it's gonna be. Maybe. So I'm getting in Thursday. Mine don't say bid. Oh yeah, category bid war. Yeah. So file name bid war, which they'll come up with and let people enter their own, and then the category bid war is community. It says community runs or it says max rando, but I'm thinking what that means is like it's going to be STS or max rando. It's one of those two. I don't know. I don't know exactly what they mean by this, but so yeah, like we could have done like blood color or whatever, but like there's just too many options there, and like how do they list like all 12 or whatever? Um, so I think it's bid war between what says run type solo base. Yeah, maybe I should message them and like double check, just like hey, because the community run would be like max would be co-op, but like we don't need a co-op for I don't know. But we can't get anybody else live, so I don't know if they're gonna be able to like have somebody on Discord. I mean, then I don't even know if anybody's available. So this is the other thing. Yeah, because I thought it would be like an upgrade instead of a bid war. Let me. I'm gonna send a. Okay, I just sent a message because just to clarify that they understand that that's because like I don't want like a gold to be up and then people are like, what am I, you know? Anyway, cool. Well, I'm gonna take this advantage of getting two nice friendly seeds in a row to round out my normal week of practice and give my hands a break. So I'm just gonna go chillax for a little bit, have a nice day and a half off. More like a day actually, because the first half of my day Saturday will probably be playing. mm. But then I'll have a little time because Sunday I'm gonna start later. I'm gonna go help my dad out in the morning afternoon time, and then after I'm done with, and we'll probably have like lunch or dinner or something. And then when I get home, then I will double max. So, and then it's back on the grind. Ugh. All right, there we go. Another sesh in the bank. Um, and we're gonna keep plugging away up until the time when we're out there. So yeah, there it is, folks. If anybody's watching this back on YouTube, there's links down below to the marathon and to my Twitch channel if you want to watch it live. Thanks for checking out the playlist, coming along the journey, and we'll see you next time. And I also have primers and guides and stuff. So if you want to learn how to do this or like learn more about it, check my channel for that information as well. Bye.